The Poetry of St. John of the Cross, read by B.C. Harris. Romance on the Gospel text In Principio Erat Verbum, regarding the Blessed Trinity. In the beginning the Word was. He lived in God, and possessed in him his infinite happiness. That same Word was God, who is the beginning. He was in the beginning, and had no beginning. He was himself the beginning, and therefore had no beginning. The Word is called Son. He was born of the beginning, who had always conceived him, giving of his substance always, yet always possessing it. And thus the glory of the Son was the Father's glory, and the Father possessed all his glory in the Son. As the lover in the beloved, each lived in the other, and the love that unites them is one with them. They're equal, excellent as the one and the other. Three persons and one beloved among all three. One love in them all makes of them one lover, and the lover is the beloved, in whom each one lives. For the being that the three possess, each of them possesses, and each of them loves him who bears this being. Each one is this being, which alone unites them, binding them deeply, one beyond words. Thus it is a boundless love that unites them, for the three have one love, which is their essence, and the more love is one, the more it is love. On the communication among the three persons. In that immense love, proceeding from the two, the Father spoke words of great affection to the Son, words of such profound delight that no one understood them. They were meant for the Son, and he alone rejoiced in them. What he heard was this: "My Son, only your company contents me, and when something pleases me, I love that thing in you. Whoever resembles you most satisfies me most, and whoever is like you in nothing will find nothing in me. I am pleased with you alone. O life of my life, you are the light of my light. You are my wisdom, the image of my substance, in whom I am well pleased. My Son, I will give myself to him who loves you, and I will love him with the same love I have for you, because he has loved you, whom I love so." On creation. My Son, I wish to give you a bride who will love you. Because of you, she will deserve to share our company, and eat at our table, the same bread I eat, that she may know the good I have in such a Son, and rejoice with me in your grace and fullness. I am very grateful, the Son answered. I will show my brightness to the bride you gave me, so that by it she may see how great my Father is, and how I have received my being from your being. I will hold her in my arms, and she will burn with your love, and with eternal delight she will exalt your goodness. Let it be done then, said the Father, for your love has deserved it. And by these words the world was created, a palace for the bride, made with great wisdom, and divided into rooms, one above, the other below. The lower was furnished with infinite variety, while the higher was made beautiful, with marvelous jewels, that the bride might know the bridegroom she had. The orders of angels were placed in the higher, but humanity was given the lower place, for it was in its being a lesser thing. And though beings and places were divided in this way, yet all form one, who is called the bride, for love of the same bridegroom made one bride of them. Those higher ones possess the bridegroom in gladness, the lower in hope, founded on the faith that he infused in them, telling them that one day he would exalt them, and that he would lift them up from their lowness so that no one could mock it any more. For he would make himself wholly like them, and he would come to them and dwell with them. And God would be man, and man would be God, and he would walk with them, and eat and drink with them, and he himself would be with them continually, until the consummation of this world, when, joined, they would rejoice in eternal song. For he was the head of this bride of his, in whom all the members of the just would be joined, who form the body of the bride. He would take her tenderly in his arms, and there give her his love. And when they were thus one, he would lift her to the Father, where God's very joy would be her joy. For as the Father and the Son, and he who proceeds from them, live in one another, so it would be with the bride. for taken wholly into God, she will live the life of God. By this bright hope which came to them from above, their wearying labors were lightened, but the drawn-out waiting and their growing desire to rejoice with their bridegroom wore on them continually. So with prayers and sighs and suffering, with tears and moanings, they asked night and day that now he would determine to grant them his company. Some said, "If only this joy would come in my time." Others, "Come, Lord, send him whom you will send." And others, "Oh, if only these heavens would break, and with my own eyes I could see him descending. Then I would stop my crying out. O clouds, rain down from your height. Earth needs you, and let the earth open, which has borne us thorns. Let it bring forth that flower that would be its flowering." Others said, "What gladness for him who is living then, who will be able to see God with his own eyes, and touch him with his hand, and walk with him, and enjoy the mysteries which he will then ordain." In these and other prayers a long time had passed, but in the later years their fervor swelled and grew when the aged Simeon burned with longing, and begged God that he might see this day. And so the Holy Spirit, answering the good old man, gave him his word that he would not see death until he saw life, descending from the heights, until he took God himself into his own hands, and holding him in his arms, pressed him to himself. The Incarnation. Now that the time had come when it would be good to ransom the bride, serving under the hard yoke of that law which Moses had given her, the Father with tender love spoke in this way: "Now you see, Son, that your bride was made in your image, and so far as she is like you, she will suit you well. Yet she is different in her flesh, which your simple being does not have. In perfect love this law holds, that the lover become like the one he loves. For the greater their likeness, the greater their delight. Surely your bride's delight would greatly increase were she to see you like her in her own flesh." "My will is yours," the Son replied, "and my glory is that your will be mine. This is fitting, Father, what you, the Most High, say, for in this way your goodness will be more evident, your great power will be seen, and your justice and wisdom. I will go and tell the world, spreading the word of your beauty and sweetness, and of your sovereignty. I will go seek my bride, and take upon myself her weariness and labors in which she suffers so, and that she may have life, I will die for her. And lifting her out of that deep, I will restore her to you." Then he called the archangel Gabriel, and sent him to the Virgin Mary, at whose consent the mystery was wrought, in whom the Trinity clothed the Word with flesh. And though three work this, it is wrought in the one, and the Word lived incarnate in the womb of Mary. And he who had only a father now had a mother too, but she was not like others who conceive by man. From her own flesh he received his flesh, so he is called Son of God and of man. The birth. When the time had come for him to be born, he went forth like the bridegroom from his bridal chamber, embracing his bride, holding her in his arms, whom the gracious mother laid in a manger among some animals that were there at that time. Men sang songs and angels' melodies, celebrating the marriage of two such as these. But God there in the manger cried and moaned, and these tears were jewels the bride brought to the wedding. The mother gazed in sheer wonder on such an exchange. In God, man's weeping, and in man, gladness, to the one and the other, things usually so strange. Christmas refrain. The Virgin, weighed with the Word of God, comes down the road. If only you'll shelter her. The sum of perfection. Forgetfulness of created things. Remembrance of the Creator. Attention turned toward inward things, and loving the Beloved. Stanzas by the same author concerning an ecstasy experienced in high contemplation. I entered into unknowing, and there I remained unknowing, transcending all knowledge. I entered into unknowing, yet when I saw myself there, without knowing where I was, I understood great things. I will not say what I felt, for I remained in unknowing, transcending all knowledge. That perfect knowledge was of peace and holiness, held at no remove. In profound solitude, it was something so secret that I was left stammering, transcending all knowledge. I was so whelmed, so absorbed and withdrawn, that my senses were left deprived of all their sensing, and my spirit was given an understanding, while not understanding, transcending all knowledge. He who truly arrives there cuts free from himself. All that he knew before now seems worthless, and his knowledge so soars that he is left in unknowing, transcending all knowledge. The higher he ascends, the less he understands, because the cloud is dark, which lit up the night. Whoever knows this remains always in unknowing, transcending all knowledge. This knowledge in unknowing is so overwhelming that wise men disputing can never overthrow it, for their knowledge does not reach to the understanding of not understanding, transcending all knowledge. And this supreme knowledge is so exalted that no power of man or learning can grasp it. He who masters himself will, with knowledge in unknowing, always be transcending. And if you should want to hear, this highest knowledge lies in the loftiest sense of the essence of God. This is a work of his mercy to leave one without understanding, transcending all knowledge. Stanzas of the soul that suffers with longing to see God. I live, but not in myself, and I have such hope that I die because I do not die. I no longer live within myself, and I cannot live without God, for having neither him nor myself, what will life be? It will be 1,000 deaths, longing for my true life, and dying because I do not die. This life that I live is no life at all, and so I die continually, until I live with you. Hear me, my God. I do not desire this life. I am dying, because I do not die. When I am away from you, what life can I have, except to endure the bitterest death known? I pity myself, for I go on and on living, dying, because I do not die. A fish that leaves the water has this relief: the dying it endures ends at last in death. What death can equal my pitiable life? For the longer I live, the more drawn out is my dying. When I try to find relief, seeing you in the sacrament, I find this greater sorrow: I cannot enjoy you wholly. All things are affliction, since I do not see you as I desire, and I die because I do not die. And if I rejoice, Lord, in the hope of seeing you, yet seeing I can lose you, doubles my sorrow. Living in such fear and hoping as I hope, I die because I do not die. Lift me from this death, my God, and give me life. Do not hold me bound with these bonds so strong. See how I long to see you. My wretchedness is so complete that I die because I do not die. I will cry out for death and mourn my living while I am held here for my sins. O my God, when will it be that I can truly say, now I live because I do not die? Stanzas given a spiritual meaning. I went out seeking love, and with unfaltering hope I flew so high, that I overtook the prey. That I might take the prey of this adventuring in God, I had to fly so high that I was lost from sight. And though in this adventure I faltered in my flight, yet love had already flown so high that I took the prey. When I ascended higher, my vision was dazzled, and the most difficult conquest came about in darkness. But since I was seeking love, the leap I made was blind and dark, and I rose so high, that I took the prey. The higher I ascended in this seeking so lofty, the lower and more subdued and abased I became. I said, no one can overtake it, and sank, so low, that I was so high, that I took the prey. In a wonderful way, my one flight surpassed 1,000, for the hope of heaven attains as much as it hopes for. This seeking is my only hope, and in hoping I made no mistake, because I flew so high, that I took the prey. A gloss with a spiritual meaning. Not for all of beauty will I ever lose myself, but for I don't know what, which is so gladly gained. Delight in the world's good things, at the very most, can only tire the appetite and spoil the palate, and so not for all of sweetness will I ever lose myself, but for I don't know what, which is so gladly found. The generous heart never delays with easy things, but eagerly goes on to things more difficult. Nothing satisfies it, and its faith ascends so high that it tastes I don't know what, which is so gladly found. He who is sick with love, whom God himself has touched, finds his tastes so changed that they fall away, like a fevered man's who loathes any food he sees, and desires I don't know what, which is so gladly found. Do not wonder that the taste should be left like this, for the cause of this sickness differs from all others, and so he is withdrawn from all creatures, and tastes I don't know what, which is so gladly found. For when once the will is touched by God himself, it cannot find contentment except in the divinity. But since his beauty is open to faith alone, the will tastes him in I don't know what, which is so gladly found. Tell me then, would you pity a person so in love, who takes no delight in all creation, alone, mind empty of form and figure, finding no support or foothold? He tastes there I don't know what, which is so gladly found. Do not think that he who lives the so precious inner life finds joy and gladness in the sweetness of the earth, but there beyond all beauty, and what is, and will be, and was, he tastes I don't know what, which is so gladly found. Whoever seeks to advance takes much more care in what he has yet to gain than in what he has already gained, and so I will always tend toward greater heights, beyond all things, to I don't know what, which is so gladly found. I will never lose myself for that which the senses can take in here, nor for all the mind can hold, no matter how lofty, nor for grace or beauty, but only for I don't know what, which is so gladly found. A gloss with spiritual meaning. Without support, yet with support, living without light, in darkness, I am wholly being consumed. My soul is disentangled from every created thing and lifted above itself in a life of gladness, supported only in God. So now it can be said that I most value this. My soul now sees itself without support, yet with support. And though I suffer darknesses in this mortal life, that is not so hard a thing. For even if I have no light, I have the life of heaven. For the blinder love is, the more it gives such life, holding the soul surrendered, living without light, in darkness. After I have known it, love works so in me that whether things go well or badly, love turns them to one sweetness, transforming the soul in itself, and so in its delighting flame, which I am feeling within me, swiftly, with nothing spared, I am wholly being consumed. Song of the soul that rejoices in knowing God through faith. For I know well the spring that flows and runs, although it is night. That eternal spring is hidden, for I know well where it has its rise, although it is night. I do not know its origin, nor has it one, but I know that every origin has come from it, although it is night. I know that nothing else is so beautiful, and that the heavens and the earth drink there, although it is night. I know well that it is bottomless, and no one is able to cross it, although it is night. Its clarity is never darkened, and I know that every light has come from it, although it is night. I know that its streams are so brimming, they water the lands of hell, the heavens and earth, although it is night. I know well the stream that flows from this spring is mighty in compass and power, although it is night. I know the stream proceeding from these two, that neither of them in fact precedes it, although it is night. This eternal spring is hidden in this living bread for our life's sake, although it is night. It is here calling out to creatures, and they satisfy their thirst, although in darkness, because it is night. This living spring that I long for, I see in this bread of life, although it is night. Stanzas applied spiritually to Christ and the soul. A lone young shepherd lived in pain, withdrawn from pleasure and contentment, his thoughts fixed on a shepherd girl, his heart an open wound with love. He weeps, but not from the wound of love. There is no pain in such affliction. Even though the heart is pierced, he weeps, in knowing he's been forgotten. That one thought, his shining one, has forgotten him, is such great pain that he bows to brutal handling in a foreign land, his heart an open wound with love. The shepherd says, I pity the one who draws herself back from my love, and does not seek the joy of my presence, though my heart is an open wound with love for her. After a long time he climbed a tree, and spread his shining arms, and hung by them, and died, his heart an open wound with love. A romance on the psalm by the waters of Babylon. Psalm 137. By the waters of Babylon I sat down weeping, there on the ground, and remembering you, O Zion, whom I loved, in that sweet memory I wept even more. I took off my feast day clothes and put on my working ones. I hung on the green willows all the joy I had in song, putting it aside for that which I hoped for in you. There love wounded me and took away my heart. I begged love to kill me, since it had so wounded me. I threw myself in its fire, knowing it burned, excusing now the young bird that would die in the fire. I was dying in myself, breathing in you alone. I died within myself for you, and for you I revived, because the memory of you gave life and took it away. The strangers among whom I was captive rejoiced. They asked me to sing what I sang in Zion. Sing us a song from Zion. Let's hear how it sounds. I said, how can I sing in a strange land where I weep for Zion? Sing of the happiness that I had there. I would be forgetting her if I rejoiced in a strange land. May the tongue I speak with cling to my palate if I forget you in this land where I am. Zion, by the green branches, Babylon holds out to me. May my right hand be forgotten, that I so loved when home in you, if I do not remember you, my greatest joy, or celebrate one feast day, or feast at all without you, O daughter of Babylon, miserable and wretched. Blessed is he in whom I have trusted, for he will punish you as you have me, and he will gather his little ones and me, who wept because of you, at the rock who is Christ, for whom I abandoned you. The Dark Night, stanzas of the soul. One dark night, fired with love's urgent longings, the sheer grace! I went out unseen, my house being now all stilled. In darkness and secure, by the secret ladder disguised, the sheer grace! In darkness and concealment, my house being now all stilled. On that glad night, in secret, for no one saw me, nor did I look at anything, with no other light or guide than the one that burned in my heart. This guided me more surely than the light of noon, to where he was awaiting me. Him I knew so well, there in a place where no one appeared. O guiding night, O night more lovely than the dawn, O night that has united the lover with his beloved, transforming the beloved in her lover. Upon my flowering breast, which I kept wholly for him alone, there he lay sleeping, and I caressing him, there in a breeze from the fanning cedars. When the breeze blew from the turret, as I parted his hair, it wounded my neck with its gentle hand, suspending all my senses. I abandoned and forgot myself, laying my face on my beloved. All things ceased. I went out from myself, leaving my cares forgotten among the lilies. The Spiritual Canticle, stanzas between the soul and the bridegroom. Bride, where have you hidden, beloved, and left me moaning? You fled like the stag after wounding me. I went out calling you, but you were gone. Shepherds, you who go up through the sheepfolds to the hill, if by chance you see him I love most, tell him I am sick, I suffer, and I die. Seeking my love, I will head for the mountains and for watersides. I will not gather flowers, nor fear wild beasts. I will go beyond strong men and frontiers. O woods and thickets, planted by the hand of my beloved, O green meadow, coated, bright, with flowers, tell me, has he passed by you? Pouring out 1,000 graces, he passed these groves in haste, and having looked at them with his image alone, clothed them in beauty. Ah, who has the power to heal me? Now wholly surrender yourself. Do not send me any more messengers. They cannot tell me what I must hear. All who are free, tell me 1,000 graceful things of you. All wound me more, and leave me dying of, I don't know what, behind their stammering. How do you endure, O life, not living where you live, and being brought near death by the arrows you receive from that which you conceive of your beloved? Why, since you wounded this heart, don't you heal it? And why, since you stole it from me, do you leave it so, and fail to carry off what you have stolen? Extinguish these miseries, since no one else can stamp them out, and may my eyes behold you, because you are their light, and I would open them to you alone. Reveal your presence, and may the vision of your beauty be my death, for the sickness of love is not cured except by your very presence and image. O spring like crystal, if only on your silvered over faces you would suddenly form the eyes I have desired, which I bear sketched deep within my heart. Withdraw them, beloved, I am taking flight. Bridegroom, return, dove, the wounded stag is in sight on the hill, cooled by the breeze of your flight. Bride, my beloved, the mountains and lonely wooded valleys, strange islands and resounding rivers, the whistling of love-stirring breezes, the tranquil night, at the time of the rising dawn, silent music, sounding solitude, the supper that refreshes and deepens love. Catch us the foxes, for our vineyard is now in flower, while we fashion a cone of roses intricate as the pines, and let no one appear on the hill. Be still, deadening north wind. South wind, come, you that waken love. Breathe through my garden. Let its fragrance flow, and the beloved will feed amid the flowers. You girls of Judea, while among flowers and roses the amber spreads its perfume, stay away there on the outskirts. Do not so much as seek to touch our thresholds. Hide yourself, my love. Turn your face toward the mountains, and do not speak, but look at those companions going with her through strange islands. Bridegroom, swift-winged birds, lions, stags, and leaping roes, mountains, lowlands, and river banks, waters, winds, and ardors, watching fears of night. By the pleasant lyres and the siren's song, I conjure you to cease your anger, and not touch the wall, that the bride may sleep in deeper peace. The bride has entered the sweet garden of her desire, and she rests in delight, laying her neck on the gentle arms of her beloved. Beneath the apple tree, there I took you for my own. There I offered you my hand, and restored you where your mother was corrupted. Bride, our bed is in flower, bound round with linking dens of lions, hung with purple, built up in peace, and crowned with 1,000 shields of gold. Following your footprints, maidens run along the way. The touch of a spark, the spiced wine, cause flowings in them from the balsam of God. In the inner wine cellar I drank of my beloved, and when I went abroad, through all this valley, I no longer knew anything, and lost the herd that I was following. There he gave me his breast. There he taught me a sweet and living knowledge, and I gave myself to him, keeping nothing back. There I promised to be his bride. Now I occupy my soul and all my energy in his service. I no longer tend the herd, nor have I any other work, now that my every act is love. If then I am no longer seen or found on the common, you will say that I am lost, that, stricken by love, I lost myself and was found. With flowers and emeralds, chosen on cool mornings, we shall weave garlands, flowering in your love, and bound with one hair of mine. You considered that one hair fluttering at my neck. You gazed at it upon my neck, and it captivated you, and one of my eyes wounded you. When you looked at me, your eyes imprinted your grace in me. For this you loved me ardently, and thus my eyes deserved to adore what they beheld in you. Do not despise me, for if before you found me dark, now truly you can look at me, since you have looked and left in me grace and beauty. Bridegroom, the small white dove has returned to the ark with an olive branch, and now the turtle dove has found its longed-for mate by the green river banks. She lived in solitude, and now in solitude has built her nest, and in solitude he guides her, he alone who also bears, in solitude, the wound of love. Bride, let us rejoice, beloved, and let us go forth to behold ourselves in your beauty, to the mountain and to the hill, to where the pure water flows, and further, deep into the thicket. And then we will go on to the high caverns in the rock, which are so well concealed. There we shall enter and taste the fresh juice of the pomegranates. There you will show me what my soul has been seeking, and then you will give me, you, my life, will give me there what you gave me on that other day, the breathing of the air, the song of the sweet nightingale, the grove and its living beauty, in the serene night, with a flame that is consuming and painless. No one looked at her, nor did Aminadab appear. The siege was still, and the cavalry, at the sight of the waters, descended. The living flame of love, stanzas the soul recites in intimate union with God. O living flame of love, that tenderly wounds my soul in its deepest center, since now you are not oppressive, now consummate, if it be your will, tear through the veil of this sweet encounter. O sweet cautery, O delightful wound, O gentle hand, O delicate touch, that tastes of eternal life and pays every debt. In killing, you changed death to life. O lamps of fire, in whose splendors the deep caverns of feeling, once obscure and blind, now give forth, so rarely, so exquisitely, both warmth and light to their beloved. How gently and lovingly you wake in my heart, where in secret you dwell alone, and in your sweet breathing, filled with good and glory, how tenderly you swell my heart with love.